Today marks a huge day for gold. It's hitting a nominal all-time high, or at least very, very close to at the time of recording this video. We're going to talk about what this means, whether it's time to jump ship from gold and maybe sell or get out of the way, so on and so forth. Let's go ahead and jump into the video and let's go. So what does it mean when gold is hitting all-time highs? Does that mean you run for the hills and you get all scared about gold can't go any higher than this? No. And I've talked about this many times in my videos and on my channel. All-time highs in my, well, not even in my experience, just usually all-time highs are actually a bullish signal. And what I mean by that is a lot of these levels, as you can see right here, were all-time highs. Check this out. For weeks, gold made new all-time highs in a row, and all-time highs often precede new all-time highs. And what I mean by that is a simple concept in markets called momentum. When things are really changing and people are seeing it hit the headlines, people are getting excited about a market, it leads to more buying. Not always, and there's not a certainty that just because we're hitting an all-time high that we'll make way higher highs. But you have to ask yourself, why is gold hitting an all-time high? Let's break it down. For the last several weeks, gold has been getting a bullish reading on the Edge Finder, and I'm going to break this down because it's really important understanding why we've gotten here. How did we get so strong on gold? Let's talk a little bit about this. So if we take a look at GDP, what we've seen here in the US is a little bit of slowing in the growth department. We can see GDP statistics have really slowed down from where they were. So we were putting up like really strong rebounding numbers in 2023, 2024. We've started to see some cooling in the economic growth in the United States. It's not necessarily we're entering a recession or anything like that, but we've seen a real slowdown in the growth. And that is also a good thing for the story about rate cuts. In order to cut interest rates, the Fed wants to see growth cool off a little bit. Why would the Fed want the economy to stop growing so fast? Well, it's because it's all about inflation. When the economy is really strong and really chugging higher, it leads to really high inflation because people are out there spending more money, bidding prices up, and that leads to interest rates being needed to stay high, right? And what you need to understand about interest rates for fundamentalists or aspiring ones out there, interest rates being high is usually not good for gold. It causes gold to be more weak. But interest rates going down is almost always a positive thing for gold. And so what we see the story playing out here this year is it's forming up to be a year where interest rates look like they're coming down. That's the long story short. But why are interest rates expected to come down? Well, because inflation is finally starting to cool down. We've seen a couple months of good data after we saw this big slide in inflation. We went sideways, right, on a year-over-year basis. Prices are still going up, but they're going up at a slower rate. Remember, the way to read this year-over-year CPI chart is prices were going up very fast, then still fast, now just not as fast, but still kind of fast. What we're shooting for, the Federal Reserve is what I'm talking about. They're looking for 2% year-over-year inflation. And we finally seem to have a light at the end of the tunnel on this inflation story. And that means that the Fed will say, okay, it's time that we can actually start to cut interest rates. So in the Edge Finder's calculation, it looks at all of these different economic data points to try and gauge whether or not things are more bullish or bearish for gold. And so we see most things leaning bullish on gold on our fundamental screener here. By the way, if you'd like to try out this software for 30 days, there will be a link down below in the description where you can do so. Just fill out that application and we'll send over some information about how you can get set up with 30 days access to our software, which is really what I use in all my videos to analyze fundamental analysis, and it helps me find the trades that I take. So gold is pushing higher and I've been long for some time. In fact, let me brag for just a moment. I'm having some of my best trading performance ever. So these are some of my current positions: gold, TLT, silver, XLK, and I just have a placeholder for a small long position that I just picked up on the Australian dollar against the US dollar. So gold breaking to an all-time high is obviously good for my personal positioning. We have a very, very good trade going on in gold right now. And this is one that I've been in for a few weeks. So this is a trade that I want to add some context to. Before I got into this one really good trade, I had several before it that did not work out so well. So when I show you guys a trade that's going parabolic like this, please understand I do my best on my channel to show both the wins and the losses. I talk about things that are stopping me out. I talk about things that are working well. I do my best not to just cherry pick and show you guys winners all the time. But recently I have had a really good winning streak. And in fact, I've gone 9 months in a row without having a losing month, which is very, very rare for me. But it's been a good year so far. And let's see if we can continue to see that. I think, gold breaking to an all-time high is, not necessarily the signal that it's over. A lot of traders are going to look at this gold move and say, oh, it's hitting all-time highs, it's time to sell. But again, as I mentioned just a little bit ago, this whole period of time was all-time highs being hit. Being at an all-time high should not scare you. What should make you decide whether or not to close a position is your own strategy, but also, do you think things have changed on the bull case for gold? And for me, I don't see this sudden change or reason to get out of my gold position unless we fail out on a price action perspective. So if we see, a rejection up in these levels and we break support, then yeah, it's time for me to go ahead and take profits on this move. But if we break through these highs, I'm not scared at these levels because, again, I believe in my analysis. I think that there's plenty of upside for gold. So long as price action continues to show signs of being bullish, I will stay long. And I'll continue to trail stops further into profit. And I'm not trying to anticipate where the top of this move is because I think that's a fool's game. I think it's very hard to try and call the top on gold when all the conditions right now favor upside, or not all the conditions, but a lot of things that have gotten us to this level are still valid, still justified, and in my view can still push higher. So that's my thought on gold for people who are wondering about the gold position. Like I said, I'm still in it. Stop loss has been trailed into profit further. And speaking of my gold position, it does remind me also that we're doing a really big discount off of our VIP memberships this week. Every trade that we share gets shared inside of our Discord channel. So you can see Frank's got trades going on. I've got trades going on. We share all of our updates. And if you'd like to get notified whenever we take a position, but more importantly, the full analysis and breakdowns behind each and every trade, like when CPI came in cool, we're doing our analysis and sharing it with our members. If you would like to become a member and join access to the Discord so you can see the trades we're taking, join the chat rooms, and get access to our coaching webinars and educational stuff, it might be a good time to think about doing so because we currently have a 40% off discount going on. And if you click the link down below in the description, you can find out more information. There's a promo code there. And also, if you have questions and you'd like a little extra discount, you can send a direct message to my team using the first link down below in the description. So meanwhile, gold is not the only thing making all-time highs. We are very close to an all-time high on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. But maybe what's more important on the stock market front is look at the Dow Jones. It's flying high, really, really strong. And, the Russell also is flying really strong. I had some questions about this actually today in the live stream, and I'll actually roll that clip back so that you can see a little bit of my thought process on why the NASDAQ is actually underperforming right now on, at least at the time of recording, things like the Russell and the Dow Jones. So check this out. Any particular reason why DJI, which is the Dow Jones, is so bullish right now with the S&P and NASDAQ down? I wanted to show my screen for just a second just to answer this question because that is a good question. We've seen the opposite be the case for so long. We've talked about it a lot on the show where the NASDAQ was up every day, the S&P, and then the Dow's just been underperforming. Dow is making a huge push. Really, really good day for the Dow and for the Russell, which we've just talked about for several minutes here. Why is this diverging? Why is the S&P having a flat day, NASDAQ's down, and the Dow Jones is up? Well, I've got a sector, a sector part of my watch list just to help answer this question. So I know it's a little bit small. In fact, let me see if I can zoom in for you guys. So check this out. I've got on my my ETF watch list here on TradingView a sectors section, and we've got a little bit of everything in here. So the XLs, I trade these guys a lot. So the XLs are sector ETFs. So we have things like XLI, which is industrials, XLV, which is healthcare. We have XLB, basic materials, XLF, this is financials. So what we see here is Remember that the NASDAQ is more tech heavy, right? So the technology heavy stuff is actually doing poor. And you can see I'm long the XLK, which is, I'm taking on some water here today on my position. But XLK and SIMIs, SMH, which is like NVIDIA, which Chris and I were just discussing. So we see some selling of those areas. IGV, this is a technology sector ETF. So my point with that is you've got a couple of the tech heavy stuff doing not so hot today. And then on the other side, what's doing well? Well, regional banks, which is a big section of the Russell, doing really well today, up 3%. Industrials doing really well today. XLV. These are, by the way, some of the more, XLV is more of a defensive sector. So to see that leading is interesting. Basic materials, financials. What this would suggest to me looking through this, industrials, healthcare, financials, and basic materials leading, that would tell me that the market is saying, oh, so there's going to be an economic kind of expansion period because these things are very correlated to the health of the economy. Industrials, basic materials, financials especially, these things do well, and not to mention real estate, but that's very rate sensitive. So that's why you can see at the index level some divergence in performance. But just wanted to clarify because I thought that was a good question in the audience. If you're looking for a better brokerage, then stick around for a second. I'm going to tell you how you can get some free sign-up perks with great brokerages all around the world. Whether you trade FX or indices, commodities, futures, all of the above, I'm going to show you a really cool way that you can get free sign-up perks with your new account. So if you're interested in switching into a different brokerage, you can get things like deposit bonuses or free stock shares, or you can even get access to some of our products for completely free. All you have to do to find out current perks being offered to new depositors is go to a1trading.com/brokers. That's a1trading.com/brokers. And as you look at that page, you'll see all these different offerings that we've currently locked down for you guys as subscribers, as viewers. Now, of course, we get something out of this. If you choose to use these links, you'll be supporting our page. But in return for the viewers, we've got great sign-up perks available for you guys so that you get some free game just by signing up for a brokerage if you're looking to do so. So check it out on our website. You can find current deals at a1trading.com/brokers. Thanks for watching this video, and on the screen right now you'll see some other options of other videos we put together that might be helpful to you in your trading career. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.